when you're living in a country that tomorrow your bank account will be freeze. I think that it's much easier for them to get it because it gives them a hope of the financial freedom. And I think that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin is a tool for our survival.
Welcome, everybody. We are here at the Bitcoin Policy Summit. I am Frank Corva, the political correspondent for Bitcoin Magazine, and I'm joined by none other than Roya Mahboob, the CEO of the Digital Citizen Fund. Roya, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all ours. So let's just please dive in from a high-level overview. Please talk about some of the work that you do and how it involves Bitcoin.
Sure. I'm working with the Digital Citizen Fund to empowering young women, but specifically Afghan women. What we do is providing training in, digital literacy, financial literacy, and helping these young women to learn from basic things how to work with a computer to level that they can learn about coding, robotics, and blockchain as well. We also help with the financial literacy, which part of our financial literacy is teaching the women to learn about saving, expenses, and loan and stuff, but also Bitcoin is part of our financial literacy program. How I got involved with Bitcoin is back to 2013. When a time that I had my company and had a lot of women as bloggers and also as programmers, and we had the issue to paying these young women. And many of these young women didn't have bank account. And it's not only Afghanistan that women don't have bank account, and majority of women don't have bank account. But I think that there are more than 740 million women that they don't have bank account around the world, which is the majority are in Afghanistan, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and mostly South Asian countries. The reason that the women didn't have bank accounts wasn't only poverty, but lack of the ID, and then as well like the social barriers that the men usually trying to control the finance of the women, and also financial literacy, because many of the women don't know how to about the saving or expenses on loan. And I think that also not having trusting to the traditional banking system was the reason. That's how we got involved with Bitcoin in 2013.
Okay. Can you talk about actually a little bit of the day-to-day on your end? So it seems like that's a very big sort of mission statement. What are you doing? What sort of team do you work with? How are you spreading this information that you're spreading, both about Bitcoin, computer literacy, financial literacy, et cetera?
So right now, we providing training, online training for the young women, but also we have underground education centers in Afghanistan, which we mostly focusing on financial literacy and also digital literacy. Bitcoin is part of our programs that we provide this training. As you know, since Taliban took over the country, it's more than 1,250 days that the girls cannot go to the schools and universities, and they are not allowed to work. So if you are living in a country like Afghanistan, which you don't have access to education, you are not allowed to work outside, and you don't have access to justice or well-being, I think that Bitcoin could help you to be as a tools of survival. So we teaching them how to use Bitcoin as a ways of sending money to Afghanistan, but also how they can do the trading. How they can have, even they don't have a bank account, how to use the Bitcoin if they have families outside to send the money to the country. But besides of that, we're also working on comic books. The Chain, remember, is a comic books, educational comic books about the Bitcoin, which we're trying to teaching not only Afghan women, but also mostly the youths to learn about Bitcoin, but in terms of also human rights concept. We work with the HRF, and we are very excited about this comic books that is coming out. And then our comic books has a tie to a curriculum which teaching not only about the technical aspect of the Bitcoin, but also the human rights concept of that.
Amazing. When you're describing Bitcoin, so you're talking about women living in an oppressive situation, or other people living under an authoritarian regime, do you feel like people can sort of accept this idea or process idea a lot more quickly than maybe in the West, where there's tons of financial privilege, people have other apps, Venmo, PayPal, whatever, where they could use? Is it a lot easier to get through to people who maybe don't have access to some of these other financial tools? Do people tend to get it a little bit more quickly?
I think that it's much easier for these people to get it, because when you're living in a country that tomorrow your bank account will be freeze because of one tweet that you made it that you didn't agree with the politics of your regime, I think that it's much easier for them to get it because it gives them a hope of the financial freedom. And in the concept of Afghanistan, for example, after Taliban took over, the private bank start to freezing the accounts of the people who worked previously for the government, either as a politician, military, even the civil society and women rights organization. The bank refused to pay them, and we refused to pay the money that they earn. It was a simple message that your services your life and your future, it doesn't matter. You're trying to create a better lives for your communities, and you work for your democracy and freedom, you will be punished, not only economically, but also socially. So I think that for all of us, the financial freedom is a way that we're thinking that we can fight back with this regime. And I think that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin is a tool for our survival because it's not tied with any government, not tied with any companies or owner. And I think that is a money for people. It's the money of people. So that's why I think that's is give us a hope.
Okay. You make it sound like this is all easy. So I just have a question, I guess, on a personal level. I'm curious, generally speaking, what do you feel is sort of, just the most challenging part of the work?
I think that education.
Education.
Many
Okay.
people don't know about the Bitcoin that exists.
Got it.
And then, in urban areas with the younger generation that they knows about digital skills, so it's easier to use the Bitcoin as a survival tools because they have access, and then they also have the education that how to use it. I think that education is the main challenges for that, and then also connectivity. In many rural areas, they don't have access to internet. So it's another issues that we're facing. And then the third issue is that many of the application is very technical concept.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to make it easier for people to understand it and make it more user-friendly, the applications in their own local language so they can use it. For example, I had someone who's like my uncle, and he's in his 60s. When I remember that when Afghanistan was collapsed, he called me and asked for the Bitcoin. So even he's 60, he knows how to download an app. I mean, don't know English, but if you have a simple app, you could use it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to receive it.
Okay.
But right now, I mean, Taliban is banned Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrencies. All the market is shut down. It's underground. Still people use it
P2P,
ways, but I think these are the challenges that we are right now facing with that.
Okay, well, we appreciate you taking those challenges head on, all the work you're doing. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Sincerely appreciate it, and best of luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.